Yeah, we're ready for our showcase. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. This is always one of our very special nights, a night that the board always looks forward to. The board for many, many years tries to find ways to showcase our students for their work in all kinds of different ways and honor them for their strong work. We are proud of our art department. We feel like we have one of the best art departments in the whole area, if not the state. We have some excellent educators and some excellent artists that go on to use their gifts and their talents even beyond school in lots of different capacities. And it's so fun to be able to see some of their artwork showcased in different art fairs and different things that we do with the Mississippi 8 Conference as our students get a little bit older, and we're able to showcase it off in different ways. So this evening we have every one of our schools here to honor a student, one student to show off their work, and that's exemplifies lots of the great work of all of our students, or many students that are very talented in art. So we are thankful to have that showcase tonight, and what we will do is we will hang this art or display this art in the district office for one calendar year, and then we'll have another group that will bring their art in next year. So to start this evening, we'll turn it over to the high school and we'll allow them to introduce themselves and kind of MC the rest of the event. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Laura Johnstone. I'm one of the art teachers. I don't know where the other one. We're always looking for each other. I'll have Brandy if you want to come up here. Our artist is Brandy Del Mercado, and she's a senior right now. And I'm gonna actually, you have your speech prepared?
No, I don't think I was told about that.
But I will have, she did a clay sculpture. So this is her piece. So the hands are clay, and then we put it on this base here. So I'm gonna, you wanna explain?
Sure,
Okay.
sure, yeah. So what I named it is pronounced Sodade, I think, or Sodata. That's what it is. Yep. And basically what it means is it comes from like Portuguese, like derived language, and basically it just means a nostalgic longing for something that's no longer attainable. And the red string, if you kind of are familiar with the Chinese like red string of fate kind of like story, it's just basically that like you're destined to meet with somebody, whether it be like romantically or friendshiply or anything like that. So just like, that's kind of like, you can interpret it however you like, but yeah.
So Brandy is also going on to?
I'm gonna do the Mississippi 8 Conference here soon, and then I'm going on in the Art Wars competition that happened recently for regionals.
And next year?
And, oh yeah, next year I'm going to Minneapolis College of Art and Design. So I'm gonna continue pursuing art and hopefully become an art educator. Yeah.
So I couldn't hold out for her.
We better sign for right now. Could we sign like a letter of intent to have you come back to Princeton?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I said, our art, we have
I tried convincing her to stay long enough for me to take her job.
She still has time. She can pull it.
So Brandy has been a staple in our art department for a long time. She worked last January, I think it was, where she was putting her portfolio together.
Yep.
To apply for NCAD.
And Wright helped me a lot with that. She did pictures and stuff, and
yeah, so she's kind of all around 2D, 3D. Yeah. So we will definitely miss her. She does have another piece in the, we have our Mississippi 8 art show this Friday. So we go set up for that on Thursday, and she has a piece in that also, different piece. So yeah, it's been just absolutely wonderful having her in the art room. She's a great inspiration to everybody. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Then I want to get a super close up of this. All right, super cool. Any board member have any questions or anything you'd like to share?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right, just in the nick of time, Alyssa, Luke, another senior, another really a powerhouse in the art department. I've had Alyssa in drawing 1, drawing 2, painting 1, painting 2, and watercolor. I did not have this this wasn't a part of a particular assignment. I just said, can you paint something? Can you dedicate the time? And this girl is a plethora of ideas. Every time she's in the classroom, she's got one project going and another one going and sketches of other ones. So very innovative, not only very skilled, but very innovative, and that's what's really been fun. So she has donated, she has these characters that she draws, and this is Ghost Cat. And Ghost Cat, this is an acrylic painting. This is all from her mind's eye. And she wanted to play with the trees and kind of this night sky. And there's a little symbolism. She's got a little representation of her black cat at the bottom there. Do you have anything more you would like to elaborate on with this piece?
Not really.
It all speaks for itself. It's another story. And I think one of the things about Alyssa is each time she does a project, she tackles another dilemma or another challenge. So it's not like she's just not a hit and repeat. That's what's been really fun to be on my side of the fence, is just to watch you stretch and grow as an artist. What are you pointing to? What was that?
Other side of the fence.
On the other side of the fence. There you go. There's your contribution. Being on the other side of the fence has been a lot of fun. Okay, so this is her piece. This is Alyssa Luke. And I think you just got back from another acclimate, which was
Crystal Cabinets. I got a scholarship from them.
so she just got a scholarship from Crystal Cabinets. So looking at going on to next year, some schooling in, you said maybe landscaping or
Interior design.
something creative.
So do you have a dream job that you'd like to have someday?
Something in the art field.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Is any of your pieces gonna be submitted to the Mississippi 8 conference?
Yes.
Yes, she has a drawing that she's putting in, and then last year she had a painting that got its superiority. You know, so she's used to this. Not her first gig. So congratulations, Alyssa. Thank you, and we're very happy to have this be a part of the collection.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
Are we leaving these here? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
and then I would like to, at the end, try and get all of our honorees up here, and we'll try and get our board members around so we can get our board members with our honorees showcased as well. So we'll wait to do that picture at the end.
Okay,
Hello.
I am Julie Gerbsma, the middle school art teacher. And this, I'm so proud to introduce you to Willa Kirsten. Willa was a student of mine in art class in the first semester, and she is amazing. Amazing with her talents, amazing with her dedication, amazing with everything that she does. And her parents are here, Darla and John. Thank you for bringing her. We did a state fish contest, which is a national contest in which all of the students have a choice to select one fish to illustrate and do some research about conservation and keeping that fish alive. And they could pick from all 23,000 different fish species that are in the world. And Willa chose to do this grouper. And she titled it The Chase. This was a watercolor, colored pencil, permanent marker. What else did you use in here, Willa?
No idea.
No idea. It was just a mixed media artwork. And this girl would just pound it out. I'm telling you, she pushed the value, she pushed the colors, she stepped out of the bounds of most students. But more importantly, they also had to write an essay that went along with this. So do you want to read the essay or would you like me to? Okay, and you hold your beautiful artwork. So to describe, they needed to write a solid paragraph about what they learned about the fish and their perspective of the fish. So, as golden sand glimmered in the sunshine and palm trees swayed in the sweet Bahama air, around a dozen schools of fish swarmed the reefs to consume fresh green algae. All of a sudden, there was a shadow that appeared. Up above, a ginormous fish lurked. Though it wasn't an imminent threat, the schools scattered in territory grouper swarmed. The grouper, over a meter long, moved elegantly across the water. However, being big and beautiful has its cost. A great white shark, bigger than the unfortunate grouper, was there. It dodged, twisted, and turned in hopes to escape the jaws of death. And with one swift move from the shadow of the grouper's body, it disappeared. Spear. Sharks don't have spears. In fact, they don't even have hands. But in reality, what killed the grouper? Fishermen. The Nassau grouper is an endangered fish species due to overfishing, the same way the Nassau grouper sees us. Ferocious predators invading their territory. Will we continue to overfish, or do we protect and preserve them until the population regrows? I think that Willow did an amazing job. And so thank you, Willow, for your work and dedication to art.
Are there any questions?
That was beautifully written.
Yeah. How, was it submitted to the state then?
Yes, it was, and I haven't had.
Haven't heard
results
anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, maybe we need to campaign on her behalf or
She's
something.
Mississippi 8 contestant for sure.
So there is no competition like that for middle schoolers, right? At this point anyways?
No.
Okay. Would we want one?
Like, it's a state high school league competition.
State high school league? Okay. Super cool. Well, thank you so very much. And that will hang proudly in our halls with the rest of this beautiful artwork.
Hello, I'm Tom Jumper. I teach over at the the intermediate school here in Princeton. I teach 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade art. And this young man right here is Joseph Jackme, right? Did I pronounce it right? Yeah. Okay. And he is a 3rd grader, and I don't normally nominate 3rd graders for this, but not only was he really exceptional at art, but also he's an exceptional student. He's very, very honest. He is also very forthright as far as what he wants to do. He is good with the other kids, and he's very respectful in class. So I just thought it was a really good fit for this year. And what we were studying some work by Henry Matisse, some of his later works where he was wheelchair bound and could no longer paint. So what he did was he was cutting with scissors. He called it painting with scissors. And so we looked at some of the different shapes and forms that he made, and then they were asked to do the same thing. They're all challenged to paint with scissors. So what Joseph did was this right here.
Wow. Very nice.
Trying to overlap colors, try to make sure our colors are balanced, and also the shapes. They could use freeform color or freeform shapes as well as geometric, all kinds of stuff. And he went to town on it and did really well. In fact, one of the few kids that paper punched and then put colors from the back side of the picture in there as well. So he did some here and here. So I just thought that was pretty amazing. So yeah, this is what he did. This is, I don't think he even titled it. I think we just called it a Matisse cutout. So did a really nice job with it. I believe his future plans are to attend 4th grade.
you gotta look and smile now. There you go. Did I hear that you had to get cleaned up quick? You were just out on your scooter riding around? Okay.
Thanks for coming.
It- Well, thank you for your hard work, and this will be displayed in our halls.
One of the other things we were talking about too, he goes, do I have to say a speech? And I thought, no, but you wanna rock, paper, scissors and see if you have to do a speech or not?
We should have, do you wanna say some words?
Okay. No, he was fine, I'm just teasing, but yeah, he was pretty worried, thought he had to say something for a while.
I was like, do I have to say speech? Because I didn't even write one.
Well, I am Susan Bartholomew. I'm from the primary building, and I'm not certain where my student is. She was planning to come when I talked to her yesterday, so I'm not certain. But Kaylee Rudy, she is a second grade student, and what the students had to do is we have an architecture unit, and the kids, we learn about Frank Lloyd Wright, we make different buildings and bird's eye views. And then this year, we began to look at the tallest building in the world, which is in Dubai. We looked at it, talked about how it was built, and then we looked at cityscapes. And so students needed to design their own cityscapes out of scratch art, which is a challenge because usually when you give them scratch art, they want to scratch it all away. But this time what the students did is they designed their own. And so what I love about this is that Kaylee, she put herself underneath the Eiffel Tower. And so it was really interesting to see. Then what the students had to do is we looked at different skyscapes and they had to design their own skies. And so then they painted them with watercolor. And then the most challenging part was then they had to cut out of the scratch paper. And so they have some unique details in some of their pictures, so that made it more challenging. And I love the colors that she used. I love that she has details in there as well as the airplane and herself at the bottom. So that is why I chose Kaylee, so.
All right, super cool. All right, I think that's it. So could we get our honorees to come up, and then board members, I'm gonna force you to kind of get behind and we'll try and put together a nice picture. You know, you're gonna have to get closer to the table, get right up to the table.
I think the honorees need to take their artwork.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, hold up your artwork. And we'll have to have somebody here.
I'll hold it.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Joey and to hold her straighter so the light doesn't glare on her. There. Okay.
All right, one more round of applause. Thank you so much.
And before we go, I do want to say to the family and also the school board, this is the 29th year that we've presented. We did have one gap year because of the COVID. But this is my 29th year at this district, and it started with the superintendent at that time, and I just cannot say how much we appreciate it. Because, I mean, look at this. I mean, you know, heartstrings, and parents who keep supporting their kids. So I just cannot say enough how much we are appreciative to do our job and for our kids to have these experiences. So, thank you.
As long as you're standing there, so we get one more picture. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all coming, everybody. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the school board meeting, or you're happy, you can leave as well. It's up to you.
Tickets are, I think, we're gonna pass on that.
Yeah, feel free if you want to grab and take pictures with the family or anything you'd like to do before you leave.
And that's not good. That's a good photograph, isn't it?
Yeah, Mr. John.
She wants the guy who played the finger game.
My rowing yard got some medals.
There we go, quick picture.
Now we gotta do selfie with
Can you take my picture with him?
Wait, we gotta
And then,
Are you gonna show it to the class? Are you gonna show it?
no, she's always.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna see him again.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can grab it. There.
Never seen her.
Another one, let's do another one.
One last one.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not good.
It's got a glare on it.
Oh, it does? Can I see?
I think Grandma
It's really a safe.
I got the.
got it at a good
like that.
Dang, I wanna get there. Chances of getting a car. Way higher.
That's really nice.
That.
Yeah, you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, there's a red dot on my nose.
I'm very proud of your Joan and your teachers.
Yeah, we're just there. We're the ones that are doing the creating, so that's cool.
I'm not gonna take the picture with me, don't worry.
Okay,
All right.
we gotta have
If you
that.
guys want to keep it, you can.
Uh-oh, you heard him.
I guess.
Well, thank you
You
very
should say
much.
they can keep it for a price, a big
I was gonna
price.
say, yeah, yep.
Thank you.
This guy could have done a speech just fine.
Yeah, I think so.
No, not exactly. I don't even.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
have a speech. I did grandma's buying ice cream at San Lucia.
Alright.
Buy an ice cream.
Yeah, right. Alright, we can go ahead and move on to citizen comments, and I went back and grabbed them, there's nothing there. So we can move on to number 6, the reports, starting with Eric.
Nothing to report.
And Don.
Policy, report.
And I had agenda planning, and we met with Winnie before that, so.
Policy before.
I did policy and I had the Rum River Co-op group and I attended the last C general conference, I think it's called, which I learned a whole lot at. And also did phase 3 training. And the fun thing out of all that, not that all that wasn't fun, but prom was so fun. Like we got to go to watch the Grand March and all that, and that was kind of our district event that we were doing.
Very nice. All right, since we don't have the student council, we'll move on to them.
Winnie sends her regrets. She's a busy student and she's likely at a track meet this evening. We did have an opportunity to meet with her. One of our board goals is to enhance the student school board experience and make kind of up our game with that. So we did meet with the student council president and vice president and advisor, and then also with Winnie, and we're just looking at some ways that we can make that more of a robust piece here. One of the things that we're strongly going to consider is actually having 2 student school board members, have one junior and one senior, so that when the senior is on, they will have some experience and they can mentor the junior, and then we get that rotation going. That's something that we're considering. I'm also looking into a small possible compensation for a student school board member. That's something that we haven't determined if we're gonna be able to do yet or not. I mean, certainly would be different than others, school board members, but, so that work is happening. We, in terms of hiring, you're aware, and I shared with you last meeting that we have Ryan Jensen on board as the high school principal. We were thankful that he was able to come and assist with some interviewing for an assistant principal at the high school. That process is in the final stages, and we should have that candidate to share with you soon. So I think that's something that's important for people to know. Finance-wise, we have decided to move lots of the typical financial presentations that we would give at this meeting to the next meeting to allow for Michelle to be present for that. And I've spoken to her today, and she should be ready to go for next meeting, probably come in virtually for that and not be in person. The next 3 weeks will be huge for us as there'll be things coming together at the legislature. You're all aware of the areas of concern for us in terms of potentially taking away school board authority on certain topics and local control, which is always a concern for us. And then also, unknowns associated with funding of potential unemployment benefits that may come into play. So that's all the unknown. I would just ask you to, pay attention to those action alerts that you're gonna probably be getting multiple a week from the different organizations, and, take a minute or two to plop out an email or pick up the phone and call and, do your part and I'll do my part and we'll see what happens. On the long-term or long-range planning side of things, there's a lot of construction projects that I'm thankful that we'll be getting going. You're aware of the tennis courts at the middle school. That project will be happening. The parking lots at the high school and ALC. We're doing some final stages of planning for the parking lot by the middle school ball fields. So that's exciting, moving forward with some bathroom configuration at the high school, and I've sent some of those drawings to you. I think that's gonna be a really nice feature, and it's gonna be a good thing for us as well. And then there's a whole host of other kinds of things as well. I'm also meeting with our new principal, Ryan Jensen, and Vaughn from Wold. I think next week we're gonna meet somewhere down in the cities, meet in the middle, because as you know, Ryan's down south. And we're gonna discuss visioning for the CTE additions, and then probably send something to all of you to do a tour of the new Mora High School that they're building. Wold feels like their focus on CTE and the new building might be something that we would think we would want to, or some fashion of that. So that's happening. Lots of planning for next school year, and then trying to really keep our eye on the ball and focus and stay grounded for this last month of the school year. There's still, we only have a month to go, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this next month. One of those things is the school board scholar event that's tomorrow evening. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of those details. We are gonna go back to the way that we had done it prior to the pandemic, where we will be sitting at tables and there will be a dinner served. I would ask board members, if you can, to get there earlier than 6:30 to assist us in greeting families as they come in the door, shaking their hands, welcoming them. And I think we'll have some crochets or flowers that we'll provide them as well. And then they'll kind of get seated. You'll find a spot to sit at one of the tables. You'll be socializing and eating, and then after that's completed, then we'll move into the PAC and we'll start our ceremony with some remarks from myself, and then we'll transition into our featured speaker for the evening, Don Bordeaux. I've heard that it's just gonna be an amazing speech.
Very long, very long.
Write me a speech.
And then turn it over to the middle school principal to honor the middle school students and the high school. I did share with you a video that is a little bit of a new flair that we threw in there that I think is kind of cool. And then we'll end our remarks, and I don't know, probably I would say 8:30 or 9 we should be completed. So if you have any other questions related to that, just text me and I'll get you that information. And that's at the high school. And with that, I'll close my remarks unless you have anything else that you'd like to ask.
Is the Moore High School finished? Is it?
It is not finished, but it is nearing. I mean, their plan, from what I understand, is to start next school year in that building. So, you know, they're in that final push.
Be fun to see that one.
Seems like it went fast.
Couple of years, yeah.
All right, no other questions for Ben? All right, we'll go ahead and get a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Eric. We'll get a second by Melissa. Any discussions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. Motion carries. Ready to go and get a motion for the discuss and act on the previous board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Don. Can you give a second?
I'll second.
Melissa, second with Melissa. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is, can we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Melissa.
Second.
Second by Eric Schoenberg. Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, down to the information for 10A, the activity fees. Is that you, Ben?
Yeah, so what's listed there right now is policy 599, and in that policy, we do have our existing fees listed. So, you know, ultimately, this policy would be changed based upon any board action. We're not asking the board to take any action this evening, it's just purely informational. But I do think that we do potentially raise these fees, that we should have board action at our next meeting to do that. That has been part of our discussions related to balancing of the budget. As you're well aware, in our projections, we are estimating about a $2.25 to $2.4 million shortfall, with our expenditures being more than our anticipated revenue, and we needed to find ways to close that gap. We did make some necessary reductions in expenditures, but we have an obligation to look at possible ways that we can increase revenue. And there's only a couple ways that we can do that, other than going out for a voter-approved operating referendum, and that is to look at what fees we have. We only really have fees in a couple of areas, other than in community ed. And that is activity fees, and that's in gate fees, if you will. And we didn't spend much time discussing gate fees, because we tend to follow what the Mississippi 8 Conference does. I'm at a Mississippi 8 Superintendent Conference tomorrow. That will be something that, you know, every year in the spring we do discuss. It's been the same for the last few years, but at some point, we can expect for that to increase. We have looked at where we compare to other Mississippi 8 conferences, and we are, I think, the lowest. You can see for yourself, because I just actually resent that to you to get it refreshed to the top of your inbox so that you can review that. We are recommending that we increase the activity fees by $50 for both the middle school and the high school, and increase the family max that is currently at $750. Our recommendation is to increase that up to either 900 or 1,000. So that's the recommendations that we have for the board to consider. And we feel like that will bring us more in the middle of our comparison school districts in the Mississippi Conference. Let's see. I think that's all I have, unless you have any other questions. I mean, again, we're not asking you to vote on it. We're asking you to think about this, and if you have any questions between now and this next, school board meeting in your preparation for your vote, we'd ask you to reach out. Or if you have any questions for us now, I'd be happy to try and answer that.
And it's been, if I remember right, it's been some time since we've raised those, right?
I can't remember the last time. I could probably find the last time we did.
Are we also thinking of raising the fine arts fees $50? Or is it just athletic fees?
I think it would be everything.
Fees, yeah,
I think it would be everything.
yeah. Yep, fine arts as well, drama.
So then with the football, hockey, musical, and trap shooting, that will go up another $50?
Everything would go up
Yeah,
$50 from where they currently are.
Okay.
And I would say that, everything is costing more, right? I mean, even you talk about the fine arts piece, that's more expensive than people realize. I mean, to get the rights to have a play, or a script, that's extremely expensive, and that continues to go up. Anytime that we want to sing a piece of music, we need to buy the rights to purchase that music. So just, with inflation and everything continues to go up, including, having fair wage and benefit increases for our coaches and advisors as well.
All right. Any other questions? Activity fees? All right, I guess we can go ahead and go to the milk bed. It's just
I don't have any commentary on that other than to, you can read for yourself.
Yeah, she put some, I
That
said,
is an
I see she put
action
some
item.
notes in there,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was nice and appreciated. And then, let's further down and we get to approve it.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're ready for the action number 11. So this is the second reading of the policies. I assume nothing has changed, but if we can get a motion to approve that. So motion made by Eric Minks, can we get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Melissa. Any discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item would be the milk bid. We can get a motion to accept the milk bid as presented.
So moved.
Motion made by Don. Can we get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eric Minks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Is there a roll call?
Oh, yeah, probably is for money. We'll do a roll, we'll start over with the roll call, starting with, what's that?
Yes.
Yes.
Eric. Yes, Chad.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Motion passes. All right. So moving right along to 11C, we get a motion to accept the resolution for termination, elimination, and reduction of positions as presented. So, motion made by Eric. Can you get a second? Eric Minks, sorry, did I say Sternberg? I didn't say anything. Got it. Thank you. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
All right, Melissa, we got a second. Any discussion? Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Same sign. Motion passes. All right, can we get a motion for 11D, which is resolution for non-renewing the probationary teacher due to lack of enrollment and financial limitations?
So moved.
Motion made by Melissa. Can we get a second?
Second.
Second by Eric Minks. Any discussion? All right, would this be a roll call? Is this no? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, the next thing we have, any additions to the agenda? There were none. Future meetings, the Scala banquet.
So is that right, correct, there's another policy meeting on the 16th?
No.
That is wrong.
Finance now.
Yeah, we flopped those. Thank you for catching that, finance. The finance will be next board meeting, and the long-range planning group I will continue to probably be sending them stuff as things come together. If you'll allow me, just one more comment, I will be discussing with the long-range planning the idea to open up that middle school property to other potential buyers. I think that it's time to probably do that. So that's just a heads up to you that we'll be having that conversation.
All right, sounds good. All right, can we get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we're adjourned.